But you can't say that. I didn't. God did. Many will fall away. Many will betray one another. You'll be hated by all nations for my name's sake. You know, in Holland, the two most vocal speakers of women's rights in the Muslim world, including the artist Theo van Gogh and a senior Dutch politician, were murdered by Muslims in their own country. The very freedom that Muslims demand here, but deny Christians in Muslim countries, with the help of left-wing academic lunacy, a biased media, and crooked politicians of both parties owned by international oil and banking, now Muslims are beginning to deprive us of those freedoms in our own country. It is well underway in Britain and Europe, growing in Australia, New Zealand. Murder in Canada, Islamic honor killings, now from Canada to America. We are told that this is only a minority of Muslims. One poll in England, 40% of Muslims admitted they wanted a caliphate and the destruction of British democracy. Schools are being propagated in this country, financed again by Saudi Arabian money, that it is the obligation to impose Sharia on the infidel. You can document it as an anti-American, anti-democratic agenda. What do we do about it? There's no need to protect the border from terrorists when your own government is more than happy to stand at LAX and give them visas. But those are only politicians. Yes, this country has turned its back on its biblical heritage. It's going the way of Europe fast. Post-Christian neo-pagan, that's happening very quickly. I can't do anything about politicians except pray for them, or in some cases, pray that they're removed. Yes, we can appeal to Caesar, as Bridget said, and we must. It's imperative we pray. But they're politicians. What about the church? What do we expect from political leaders, from oil whores, from political prostitutes, in bed with our enemies, when the leaders of the church are no better and no different? They are turning their backs on the persecuted church in Muslim countries. How can I complain about politicians in Washington doing it when pastors and pulpits are doing the same thing? It's gone mad. The religious right or the religious wrong? I'm only stating facts. Many Christians are confused now. They're in a state of disarray. How could Pat Robertson endorse Rudolph Giuliani, who's pro-abortion and pro-homosexual? How could he use a Christian radio broadcast and television program established to funded to establish the propagation of the gospel, use that to endorse somebody who's pro-abortion? How could Pat Robertson do that? How could Bob Jones endorse a Mormon, a man who says Jesus is the brother of Satan, to be president? When I was a youth and a new believer, they wouldn't even let a black Christian student go to Bob Jones University. Now they're endorsing Mormons to be president of the United States. Christians are confused. How can our leaders be doing this? It's indeed bewildering. I'm as perplexed as anybody. I don't know what to make of it, until I remember what Jesus told me, what he told you. Many will fall away and betray one another. They are betraying Israel and the Jews. They are betraying the Christian heritage upon which this nation was in large measure established. They are betraying the persecuted church in Muslim countries. They're betraying the Constitution. But again, those are politicians. If they couldn't lie, they wouldn't have anything to say to begin with. I accept that. When I turn on Fox or CNN, I expect to hear hype, lies, myth. I know they'll say one thing and do another after they get elected. I accept that. The world is fallen. It's in the power of the wicked one. I accept it. I don't like it, but that's reality. Oye, como va? That's the way it is, amigo. Carlos Santana sang about it 40 years ago. That's the way things go. As we say in Hebrew, ze kacha. No, I don't expect the truth from the media. I don't expect the truth from Princeton, Harvard, or Yale. I don't expect the truth from Whitehall or the White House. But I do expect the truth from the pulpit in the house of Jesus Christ. Let me tell you why I'm not on Prozac. Let me tell you why I'm not suffering from clinical depression. Let me tell you why the depravity and the hopelessness of the situation we find ourselves in has not driven me to the brink of suicide. There is one reason, and one reason only. When you see these things happening, know your redemption draws near. I'm concerned about all this, but I believe this. Jesus is coming soon. Yeshua Yavo, Be'atid Karov. Shalom.